am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist. Welcome to Social Impact Sundays at 6, where we have massive social impact that leads to massive income. And today we have Josie with us. She is building a bridge. She is, meshing church and community and mental health and all the things. She has a background in human services. Welcome, Josie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So tell me, what inspired you to pursue a degree in human services?
Just my own life story, I would say. It started as adolescence and then went into domestic violence and then trying to escape that. So my escape from domestic violence and what I learned along the way is what I was like, don't no other woman have to go through this or anybody escaping any type of stuff should be readily available. And I'm the type of person, if I come up with the idea, I'm going to do it. So I left pharmacy and switched over to social work to figure if if I want to see the change, I'm gonna be the one to start the change.
Exactly. You have to be the start of it. And what would be some tips and strategies that you would share with someone else that's going through an intimate violence or domestic violence type situation? Because like you said, you were able to escape. So I would love for you to share some nuggets to our audience that could support them in making that transition if that's something that they desire. Or they could be a social worker supporting, those individuals. So what would you say?
For me, I would say on the social worker end that you really cannot force somebody to come out of that situation. They have to be ready because there's many times people came to my rescue and I wasn't ready, right? And for the victim side, I would say you have to make up in your mind that you are worth more than what this person is treating you like, right? They say love does not hurt. Yes, it hurts if we break up, my heart will hurt, but physically I'm not beating on the things that I love, right? So it's like think of yourself as dollar store china and there's fine china. Fine china don't come out for every occasion. That's like the special stuff they put away. The dollar store stuff, you don't even know where it's at. So think of yourself as fine china and you need to be treated as fine china. And God said that we are perfectly and wonderfully made. And if you're not experiencing the love of God through a relationship that's supposed to be intimate, sis, make up your mind and walk away.
Fine China. I love
Fine
how you,
china.
yes, not the 3 or the 125 China. No, fine
Fine china.
China.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And what would you say are some of those practical tips? Because I know something that you mentioned, you kind of alluded to earlier. You said that it should be easily accessible, which kind of implied, and I could be wrong, that when you decided to make your transition, the resources weren't necessarily there or they weren't easy to access. So what would be some of those practical tips?
Um, so I've learned about making an escape plan. However, when I was in that situation, I knew nothing of shelters. I knew nothing of domestic violence, people that will come and help you. I knew nothing of, so I was homeless sleeping in a car. So when I say they're like not readily available, because I was a church girl. We don't talk about this, right? So we don't, it's basically like a sin, but what if I'm being beat on? So therefore, because we don't talk about these things, we don't address these things, I was trying to take care of it without taking care of it. Because it's like, how do you take care of it? You don't even know where to start. Nobody's talking about this. It's frowned upon. But at the same time, I need to go, right? So I had to make up in my mind that when it was time to go, I just asked my supervisor to basically buy me a train ticket to Pennsylvania. And when I came here, homeless again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I came here, I started learning about resources that I could have used to make it so much easier. So I feel like if we're talking about it, if we're like not making it seem like, oh, this is not happening. Yes, it's happening. It's happening and people need help. So if we could be that person or just sharing a resource, if I knew one shelter, I probably wouldn't have been homeless. But I didn't even know domestic violence shelters existed. I didn't know that there were counselors for domestic violence. I didn't know that there were advocates. So when I went to court and I was threatened by gunfire and all that, I could have had an advocate come with me and I didn't have to face that process alone. So I would say if somebody is suffering, they're easily to come ask for help, right? Or even if they don't want to ask for help, it's on the bathroom wall. Nobody had to say nothing to them. They just went to the bathroom wall, took the number, and made the phone call. But again, none of that was available for me.
And I'm really sorry to hear that because, like you said, the resources was there. You just didn't know. And you were
Mm-hmm.
actually connected. So it wasn't like you were just some loner, just stayed in the house. Like, no, you were actually engaged. It sounds like in church, in community with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you just didn't feel comfortable sharing that information. Because, like you said, it's just something that's just dust, swept under the rug. It's not something
Yep.
that's discussed. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that ties into you now bridging that gap. Like for us to have some of those difficult conversations or uncomfortable conversations or those things that's happening that we don't want to discuss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my purpose is now just finding ways to build to bridge the gap, right? So when I joined the church here and noticed the same problem. So me and my big mouth, it's not going to be a problem for long. So I started myself. Me and my husband now, we started going to the domestic violence shelters and teaching them Bible studies and telling them, like, Jesus loves you and this, that, and the other. And asking them, do you want to go to church? Because maybe if they see in your condition, then they'll see this is happening. So I would load all them ladies up and take them to church. And then I would teach the church on the other end, like this, be kind to people. Like you don't know what people are going through. When you see them, hug them. When you see them, ask them questions. Like be a resource. You're part of the community. We need to be a resource. So yeah, that's how I started bridging the gap. And then I started a nonprofit called The New Me. And what we do is we basically provide basic resources for people in transition. And we also provide them like with tangible resources, I would say. So if you need soap, I have you a pack of soap. If you need clothing, I got you a pack of clothing. If you need a resume to go get a job, I will help you do that. And then point you to career links, that different type of things to help. So yeah, we've been doing the profit since 2015. And then I also work for the Westmoreland Community Action as the housing manager. So like if we can catch people, if we can catch young adults in that transition stage, maybe they would kind of steer away from going through what I had to go through.
I love how you took your experience, your situation to now, make an impact in the lives of other people who are currently experiencing it. And also on the preventive end, like, hey, let's equip you with the tools and strategies so that you can be, self-sufficient and recognize some of the signs and be, I guess in some would say, self-full. So then
Mm-hmm.
you might not, venture into a relationship where you could possibly experience domestic violence. So how
Mm-hmm.
can people support your nonprofit?
They can support us by sharing our mission, volunteering. We always need volunteers. We provide housing in Allegheny County and Westmoreland County. We're more prevalent out there. So in New Kensington, we have a free store. Anybody can volunteer there any day. And we're currently now working on a project in Monessen, PA, where we are opening another drop-in center. And then you can support our P7 youth by sending kids our way. So our P7 youth is also a chapter of the New Me, just the youth chapter. And that's basically focused on prevention. That is all prevention. And that program is located in Allegheny County. We run it at the church. It's an awesome program. So support us by sending your youth, ages 13 and up.
Yeah. So new me. And what does new me stand for? Because I mean, we all have our thoughts when we think of new me. But when you thought of the name new me, what came up for you?
So actually, it was me, my 3 kids, my husband now, who was my fiance at the time, and I told them my idea. We were all sitting on my little size bed, like we were all sitting in a circle. I told them my idea, and I'm like, this is what, like, I want to do this. How, like, we need a name. And they was like, well, Mom, how do you feel? I was like, I feel new. And it's like, the new you, oh, is that? And then became the new me. And then my son designed our logo, which is the lady coming out of the water.
Beautiful. So new me, Josie, what advice would you share to our audience?
Okay, on the social work side, don't be afraid to share resources. Share all the resources. Even if you think your participants are not going to use it, share it anyway. Share resources, because if I had one piece of paper that said, oh, call this, it would have been easier. And then for on the victim side of things, find the resources, like ask questions. Don't do this alone. There's people out here willing to help you. Call anybody, call me, listen, find the resources, dig, make you a plan. And if you have a safety plan and you have all your resources, it'll be so much easier and possible.
Social workers, share the resources, individuals that's experiencing domestic violence, reach out, use the resources. So thank you so much, Josie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist. Make sure you go to the socialworkmovement.com to get involved or even to, support the social work movement. Until next time, have an amazing day.